Good Friday evening. The KLRN players present Alice in
Good
Wonderland.
evening, listeners. This is Ernest Wilmot speaking to you live from our fields, bringing you the bright promise of spring. Months back, we set out to find a gift for all our friends, and we found it in tonight's KLRN Playhouse presentation of An Alice in Wonderland. That whimsical tale spun by Lewis Carroll in 1865, inspired by a young girl's fantastical dreams. Our fields are alive with the season's glow, churning out turnips so plump, crisp, and sweet, they're the heart of any springtime spread, be it a roasted delight, a fresh salad, or a hearty stew. Folks, this show tonight is our way of saying thank you for choosing Wilmus all year long. Grocery shelves are brimming with our 21 sizes and varieties, but dwindling just as fast as families stock up for spring feasts and lively days outdoors. The youngsters are romping in the sunshine, and nothing feels them better than hot, nourishing plate of turnips ready in a flash. There's hope and happiness in these turnips, so dash to your market or swing by our farm and pick up Wilmot's turnips, spring's finest, straight from our soil to your table. Now settle in for the KLRN Playhouse and our special presentation of Alice in Wonderland, a springtime tweet from the growers at Wilmot's Family Farms.
Thank you, Farmer Wilmuth. Your sponsorship means the world to us here at KLRNRadio.com. We would like to thank everyone for listening to this crazy idea, first put into place by the one and only Mickey Blowtorch. What you are about to hear are a group of friends having fun on a Friday night. And tonight we bring you Alice, a fairy story, people with human beings, animals that talk like men. Do they mirror men who act like animals? I don't know. It is merely a simple story about a little girl, basically for a little girl, taken to a whole other level. Half the world has, for 160 years, called it childish nonsense. The other half, significant social satire. To me, it has always been simply Alice's Adventures in Wonderland.
Oh, Alice, don't fidget so.
I beg your pardon, sis, but it is so very dull today. Isn't it sweet tea time yet?
Oh, not quite. We'll go into tea when I finish the chapter I'm reading, 'cause this smut's just getting juicy. Why don't you go and pick some daisies?
Oh, it's so dreadfully hot to pick daisies. Sis, look. Down there in the grass, and I don't mean to be racist, but it's a white rabbit.
Mm-hmm.
Sister, he has a waistcoat on, and look, he's taking a watch out of it.
Oh, Alice, I'm trying to finish this. What nonsense are you speaking?
Oh dear, I shall be late.
Sis, did you hear that?
Hear what?
The rabbit! He looked at his Apple Watch, and then he spoke.
Oh, Alice, I swear your imagination. Alice, come back here. Where on earth are you going?
I've got to see that rabbit again, sis. Oh dear, he just popped into that hole under the hedge, but it's such a very large hole. Perhaps I could squeeze through? There! I can still see him. He's down at the end. Oh, I must hurry! Oh, I must! Oh, I'm falling!
Falling down what seems a very deep well, like a hot dog down a hallway.
Well, either the well was very deep, or she fell very slowly, for she had plenty of time to look about her and notice that the sides of the well were filled with cupboards and bookshelves.
After such a fall as this, I shall think nothing of tumbling downstairs. Why, I wouldn't say anything about it, even if I fell off the top of the house.
It's probably true.
Down, down, down. That's what she said. Alice became very drowsy, and she had almost fallen asleep when...
Gracious, I've swallowed. I ought to be hurt, but I don't seem to be. Now, where is that white rabbit? Oh, there he goes.
Oh, my long ears and perfectly groomed whiskers. How late it's getting.
He's turned the corner of the package. I mustn't lose him.
But when Alice turned the corner, the rabbit was no longer to be seen. She found herself in a long, low hall with doors all around it, all locked. In the middle was a little three-legged table of solid glass, but nothing on it but a tiny gold key.
Alice tries the keys in various doors of the hall, but either the locks were too large or the key was too small.
Hey,
Now,
I was reliably told that size does not matter.
listen here, you. Now she sees a little door about 15 inches high. She tries the little golden key in the lock, and it fits. Alice is opening the door now. She is kneeling to look through the passage. It leads to a lovely garden, but she can't even get her head through the doorway.
And even if my head would go through, it would be of very little use without my shoulders. Oh, how I wish I could shut up like a telescope. I think I could, if only I knew how to begin.
Alice is returning to the table now. She's looking for another key, or perhaps a book for rules of shutting people up like telescopes. She doesn't find either, but there is a little bottle there.
Which certainly wasn't here before.
Around the neck of the bottle is a paper label with words "Drink Me" beautifully printed in large, friendly letters.
Drink me. I do like a good drink, but I think I'll look first and see if it's marked poison.
But the bottle was not marked poison.
Unlike your cooking,
Listen, remarks like that will not get you invited to Christmas dinner.
my luck is getting better every day.
Ugh. So Alice ventured to taste it, and finding it very nice.
It has, in fact, a sort of mixed flavor with notes of cherry tart, custard, scotch, roast turnips, toffee, and hot buttered toast. Aromatic and earthy with a clean, zesty finish.
She very soon finished it off.
Just like your sister with that Janice.
What a curious feeling. I must be shutting up like a non-feminist.
She is shrinking. She is now only 10 inches high. She's about the size enough to go through the door to the lovely garden now. She seems a little nervous, though, afraid she might shrink too far.
It might end, you know, in my going out altogether like a candle. I wonder what I should be like then.
Fortunately, nothing more happened. But alas, poor Alice, she had left the little golden key on the table, and though she could see it quite plainly through the glass, she was now much too small to reach it. Soon her eye fell on a little glass box that was lying under the table. She opened it and found in it a very small cake, on which the words "Eat me" were beautifully marked in currants.
Giggity.
Well, I'll eat it. And if it makes me grow larger, I can reach the key. And if it makes me grow smaller, I can creep under the door. So either way, I'll get into the garden, and I don't care much which happens. Which way? Which way?
She's holding her hand on top of her head to feel which way she is growing, because that makes perfect sense.
Curiouser and curiouser.
She is so surprised she quite forgets to speak English goodly.
I'm opening out like the largest telescope penis that ever was. Goodbye, feet. Ouch!
Her head strikes against the roof of the hall. She is now more than 9 feet high. She takes up the little golden key and hurries off to the garden door.
Poor Alice. It was as much as she could do, lying down on one side to look into the garden with one eye. But to get through the little door was more hopeless than ever. She sat down and began to cry again.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself, a great big girl like you.
She might as well say this.
To go on crying in this way. Stop this moment, I tell you.
But she went on just the same, shedding gallons of tears like some heroine in a telenovela, until there was a large puddle around her, about 4 inches deep and reaching halfway down the hall. After a time, she heard a little pattering of feet in the distance, and she hastily dried her eyes as the White Rabbit returned, this time splendidly dressed with a pair of white kid gloves in one hand and a large fan in the other. He came trotting along in a great hurry, muttering to himself as he came,
Oh, the Duchess, the Duchess. Oh, won't she be savage if I've kept her waiting?
If you please, sir.
Ah! Oh, my long ears and resplendent whiskers.
Stop. You've dropped your gloves and fan.
Oh, my magnificent ears and beautiful whiskers. Ooh!
and the White Rabbit was gone. Alice took up the fan and gloves, and as the hall was very hot, she started to fan herself.
Gracious, I must be growing small again. I am. Now I am only 2 feet high. I shall go out altogether. It must be the fan. Oh, that was a narrow escape. If I hadn't dropped that fan, it would have been the end of me. But now I'm small enough to get through the door. I fell in a toilet.
Moist.
As Alice finds herself up to her chin in salt water, swimming around in the pool of the tears she had wept when she was 9 feet tall.
Oh, I wish I hadn't cried so much. I shall be punished for it now. I suppose by being drowned in my own tears. That will be a queer thing. I'm not gay, though, to be sure. However, everything is queer today. Oh, what a fearful racket. It must be at least be a walrus or a hippopotamus. Oh no, I forgot how small I've grown. It's only a mouse. But it is bigger than I am. Oh, mouse, do you know the way out of this toilet? I'm very tired of swimming about here. Oh, mouse? Perhaps it doesn't understand English. I dare say it's a French mouse. Come over with William the Conqueror. Où est ta machete?
First sentence in Alice's French book. Translation, where is my cat? The mouse doesn't much like the reference in either French or English.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I quite forgot you didn't like cats. Bless your heart.
Not like cats? Well, would you like cats if you were me?
Well, perhaps not, but I do wish I could show you our cat Dinah. She's such a capital one for catching mice. Oh, I do beg your pardon. We won't talk about her any more if you'd rather not.
Well, indeed, as if I would talk on such a subject. Our family always hated cats. Nasty, low, vulgar things. Don't let me ever hear the name again.
I won't indeed, I promise.
Well, very well, then let us go to the shore, and I'll tell you my history, and you'll understand why it is that I hate cats.
It was high time to go, for the pool was getting quite crowded with the birds and animals that had fallen into it. There were a duck and a dodo, a lory and an eaglet, and several other curious creatures. Alice led the way, and the whole party swam ashore.
They are indeed a queer-looking group. As they assemble on the bank, the birds with draggled feathers, the animals with their fur clinging closely to them, all dripping wet and mad, and so very cross. The first question, of course, is how to get dry again, and an argument ensues in which the dodo, who seemed to be a person of great authority, finally ends.
Quiet, all of you! If you really... There was a sound there. I wasn't expecting it. If you really want to get dry, then the best way is a caucus race.
What is a caucus race?
Come here, little girl, and I'll show you. But why? Why? It's the only way. The only way to explain it is to do it. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. We have to do it.
And as you might like to try the thing yourself some winter day, I will tell you how the dodo managed it. First, it marked out a race course in sort of a circle.
Though shape doesn't matter.
Keep telling yourself that. And then everybody was placed along the course here and there. There was no 1, 2, 3 and away, but they began running when they liked and left off when they liked, and so that it was not easy to know when the race was over. However, when they had been running half an hour or so, the dodo suddenly called out.
The race is over.
But who has won?
I don't know.
Just a minute. Just a minute. Let me think. I have to think. Don't mind the smoke. I know. I have it. Everybody has won and all must have prizes.
Prizes? But who's to give the prizes?
Why, she, of course.
May?
Yes, you. I'm the dodo here. What's wrong with you?
Prizes.
Alice had no idea what to do, and in despair she put her hand in her pocket and pulled out a box of candy.
Lucky the salt water had not gotten into it.
And handed them around as prizes. There was exactly one apiece all around.
But she must have the prize herself, you know?
Well, I mean, of course, but she already gave us a box of chocolates, and everybody knows what my mama used to say about boxes of chocolates. Hey, little girl, what is that in your pocket?
Oh, only a thimble.
A thimble. Well, you should hand it over here.
There.
We beg your acceptance of this elegant thimble. Yes, that's the elegant thimble. Yay. And now we all eat our prizes.
I can't eat mine. It's a thimble.
You're lucky.
Oh, mine's too big. Help, I'm choking.
That's what she said.
Giggity.
Here, some of you. No, not you, the other some of you. Pat his back.
Mouse, are you all right?
I promise. What?
I can't taste mine. It's too small.
I'm sorry. It's the best I could do. Oh, Mouse, you promised, you know.
I promise what?
To tell me your history and why you hate you know what.
Oh, mine is a long and sad tale. Oh, woe is me.
I can see it's a rather long tale, oh Mouse, but why is it so sad?
You insult me by talking such nonsense?
Oh, I really meant nothing, but you're so easily offended, like a liberal, you know?
I'm afraid. I'm very much afraid that you are a waste of time.
Oh,
Sorry.
please, bless your heart. Come back and tell us your story.
What a pity you wouldn't stay. You can imagine my disappointment.
I wish our Dinah were here. She'd soon fetch it back.
And who is Dinah, if I might venture to ask the question?
Dinah's our cat, and she's a capital one for catching mice. And oh, I wish you could see her after the birds and the mice. Why, she'd eat a little bird as soon as look at it, and Oh, I wish I hadn't mentioned Dinah. Nobody seems to like her down here. And I'm sure she's the best cat in the world. Oh, my poor Dinah. I wonder if I shall ever see you any more. Oh, there's no sort of use in crying about it. I should.
Suddenly, Alice noticed a large mushroom growing near her, and about the same height as herself. Always giggity. And on top of it, a large blue caterpillar was sitting with his arms folded, quietly smoking a long hookah. The caterpillar took his languid time.
And who are you?
I hardly know, sir, just at present. At least I know who I was when I got up this morning.
What do you mean by that? Explain yourself.
I can't explain myself, I'm afraid, sir, because I'm not myself, you see.
No, I don't see.
I'm afraid I can't put it more clearly, for I can't understand it myself to begin with, and being so many different sizes in a day is very confusing.
But it isn't.
If you changed as much as I have today, you'd feel a little queer too, and I don't mean that kind of queer.
Yeah, not that kind, but not a bit.
Well, perhaps your feelings are different, but it feels very queer to me. Maybe it is that kind of queer.
You? Well, who are you?
I think you ought to tell me who you are first.
Why?
Oh, I'm afraid we're not getting anywhere at all.
Come back, come back. I've got something important to say.
Well, what is it?
Keep your temper.
Is that all?
Yeah, and like have a good day and shit.
But
One side will make you grow taller. The other side will make you grow shorter.
one side of what? The other side of what?
The mushroom.
How can he tell which are the two sides of the mushroom when it's perfectly round? Oh, maybe if I stretch my arms around as far as they can go and break off a bit of the edge with each hand. Oh, there. And now, which is which? I guess I'll try the right hand piece first. I'm getting smaller so quick. My chin hit my foot. I have to eat some of the left-hand piece right away. It is so hard to get my mouth open. There. Come, my head's free at last.
As she grew larger, she saw across the top of the mushroom a little house about 4 feet high.
I can never visit that lovely place if I grow to my full size, so I better stop right here.
She is nibbling a little of the right-hand piece, now a quick nibble of the left-hand piece. She is now established at 9 inches.
Yeah, I've heard that before. As she approached the house, a fish dressed in a footman's livery came running out of the woods and rapped loudly on the door. It was opened by another footman in livery, who was really a frog. Alice crept behind a bush to listen as the fish footman presented a great letter nearly as large as himself.
For the Duchess, an invitation from the Queen to play croquet.
From the Queen, an invitation for the Duchess to play croquet.
They both bowed, and with the curls of their white wigs got tangled together. Alice laughed so much at this that she had to run back into the woods for fear of their hearing her. And when she peeped out, the fish footman was gone, and the frog footman was sitting on the ground near the door, staring stupidly up at the sky. Alice went up to the door and knocked.
There's no sort of use in knocking, and that for 2 reasons. First, because I'm on the same side of the door as you are, and second, because they're making so much noise inside that no one could possibly hear you. Do you have a cigarette, by the way?
No. Please, then, how am I to get in?
There might be some sense in your knocking if we had the door between us. For instance, if you were inside, you might knock, and I might let you out, n'est-ce pas?
But how am I to get in?
I shall sit here until tomorrow, or the next day, maybe.
How am I to get in?
Are you to get in at all? That's the first question, you know.
It's really dreadful the way y'all creatures argue. It's enough to drive one crazy.
Of course it is. I'm French. I shall sit here off and on for days and days.
You. But what have I to do?
Anything you like.
Then I'll go in anyway.
The door leads into a large kitchen, full of dank. The Duchess is sitting on a three-legged stool, nursing a baby at her teat. The cook is stirring a large cauldron of soup as she throws pepper into it by the shakerful. A large cat is lying on the hearth, grinning from ear to ear. He doesn't sneeze, neither does the cook, but everyone else does.
Please, would you tell me why your cat grins like that?
Why, it's a Cheshire cat, that's why. Pig.
Were you speaking to me?
Oh, no, I was speaking to this little brat.
Oh.
Achoo!
Oh,
Take that, and that, and that.
Oh, be careful. What are you throwing the pots and pans at the baby for?
That happens every afternoon around about 4 o'clock, just before I have my nip of special tonic.
Oh, please mind what you're throwing, cook. Be careful, don't... Oh! There goes his precious little nose.
Speak roughly to your little boy, and beat him when he sneezes. He only does it to annoy, because he knows it teases. Wow, 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 wow. Here, you may nurse it for a bit if you like it. Catch!
Oh, please, I nearly dropped the damn thing.
No matter, I must go and get ready. You know, I've been invited to play croquet with the Queen.
Take that, you toad.
What?
Mystery game.
If I don't take this child away with me, they're sure to kill it in a day or two. It would really be committing murder to leave it behind. Oh, don't squeal, my dear. That's not at all the proper way of expressing yourself. If you're going to turn into a pig, my dear, I'll have nothing more to do with you. Mind now. Now what am I going to do when I get this creature home? I guess there'll be no taking you home. You'll be happier out there in the woods. Run on, little piggy. If it had grown up, it would have made a dreadfully ugly child, but it makes a rather handsome pig, I think.
And she began thinking over other children she knew who might do very well as pigs, when she was a little startled to see the Cheshire cat sitting in the bough of a tree a few yards off.
Hello, Cheshire Pussy.
Meow. How you doing, Mama?
Would you please tell me which way I ought to go from here?
Well, that depends a good deal on where you want to get to.
I don't care where.
Well, then it doesn't matter which way you go.
What sort of people live around here?
Well, that direction lives a hatter. That direction lives a March hare. Visit either. Both are mad.
But I don't want to go among mad people.
Oh, baby, you can't help that. We're all mad here. I'm mad. You're mad.
How do you know I'm mad?
You must be, or you wouldn't have come here. Do you play croquet with the queen today, Mama?
I should like.
You'll see me there. Meow.
Well, he's disappeared into thin air. No, here he comes back.
Meow. By the by, what became of that baby? I nearly forgot to ask.
It turned into a pig.
I always thought it would. Meow.
I wonder if he's disappeared for good now. Well, who shall I go visit? I've seen hatters before, so I imagine the March hare will be the most interesting. And since this is May, it won't be raving mad, at least not so mad as it was in March.
Meow. Did you say a pig or a fig?
I said pig.
All right. Meow.
This time it vanished quite slowly, beginning with the end of the tail and ending with the grin, which remained some time after the rest of it had gone.
I was talking to one Mrs. Hatter about the weather here in Wonderland, and she says it can be a bit cold and gloomy at times. But I know a secret to chip her right up. A hot Dickens cider. Mrs. Hatter loves a hot Dickens cider. It just drives her mad. But it's not just for us regular folks. The other day, Mrs. Hatter was at the palace and overheard the Queen of Hearts looking for someone to give her a hot Dickens cider. The good people at Dickens Cider work hard to provide a quality pint of the best cider in the world. So whether you're a peasant, a lord, or, God help us, even an MP, be sure to give your missus what she really wants. A hot Dickens cider. She'll surely ask for more.
and welcome back to the KLRN Radio Players presentation of Alice in Wonderland. And we continue with the rabbit coming into the scene.
Oh dear, oh dear. I shall be late.
Before she knew it, Alice was falling down what seemed to be a deep well, at the bottom of which, among other curious creatures, she met a mouse.
Mine is a long and sad tale. Oh, woe is me!
And the caterpillar.
Hey, keep your temper.
Outside a little house, in the middle of a wood, she encountered a frog dressed in the livery of a footman.
I shall sit here off and on for days and days.
And inside the little house, a sneezing baby, a cook, and a very ugly duchess.
Speak roughly to your little boy and beat him when he sneezes.
She had rescued the sneezing baby from the fury of the cook, only to have the baby turn into a pig. And a moment later, a Cheshire cat had faded into existence on a limb above her.
Meow. That direction lives a hatter. That direction lives a March hare. Visit either. Both are mad. Meow.
She had not gone much further before she came upon the house of the March hare.
She's sure it is the right house because the chimneys are shaped like ears and the roof thatched with fur.
There was a table set out under a tree in front of the house, and the March hare and the hatter were having tea at it.
A dormouse is sitting between them, fast asleep. The March hare and the hatter are using him as a cushion, resting their elbows upon him. They aren't at all anxious to have Alice's company.
No room!
No room!
No room!
No room!
No room!
Are you blind? No room!
No room!
There's plenty of room. I'm gonna sit down. There.
Have some wine!
I don't see any wine, March Hare.
There isn't any?
Then it wasn't very civil of you to offer it. How about tequila?
Ooh, tequila? Well, if well, wasn't very civil. Wait, what? There isn't any? Oh, it wasn't very civil of you to sit down without being invited.
I didn't know it was your table. It's laid for a great many more than 3.
And you call this a hairstyle? Your hair wants cutting.
Oh, you should learn not to make personal remarks, Hatter. It's very rude.
Why is a raven like a writing desk?
I'm glad you're going to ask riddles. That'd be fun, but I believe I can guess that one.
Do you mean that you think you can find out the answer to it?
Yes. Exactly so.
Then you should say what you mean.
I do. At least I mean what I say. That's the same thing, you know.
It's not the same thing. A bit. Why, you might just as well say that I see what I eat is the same thing as I eat what I see.
You might just as well say that. I like what I get is the same thing as I get what I like.
You might as well say that I breathe when I sleep is the same thing as I sleep when I breathe.
It is the same thing for you, Dormouse.
Must answer that riddle before they forget it. Now let me see. Why is a raven like a writing desk? A raven, a writing desk, a raven, a
What day of the month is it?
the 4th.
This watch is 2 days wrong. I told you butter wouldn't suit the works.
It is. It was the very best butter.
Yes, but some crumbs must have gotten in as well. You shouldn't have put it in with the bread knife.
Hey, look. But it was the best butter. Let me dip it in the tea with you know what. It might wash the crumbs away. You know what?
What a funny watch. It tells the day of the month and doesn't tell what o'clock it is.
Why should it? You're such a bimbo. Does your watch tell you what year it is?
Of course not, but that's because it stays the same year for such a long time together.
Which is just the case with mine.
I don't quite understand y'all at all.
And the Dormouse is asleep again.
No, I'm not asleep. I heard everything you morons said.
All right, Blondie. Have you even guessed the riddle yet?
No, I give up. What's
I haven't the slightest idea.
Nor I.
I think you might do something better with the time than wasting it and asking riddles that have no damn answers.
Haha, yes. And if you knew time as well as I do, because I've listened to Pink Floyd, you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It's him.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. You've never met Morris Day. I dare say you've never even spoke to time.
Perhaps not, but I know I have to beat time when I learn music.
Well, perfect. That accounts for it. He won't stand beating. I know. He and I quarreled last March, just before he, the March Hare, went mad. You know. Yeah. It was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing. And seriously, they expected me to sing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Bat. How I wonder where you're at. You know that song. You better know that song, Blondie.
I'm afraid I have heard something like it.
And it was just like at karaoke. Everybody's drunk, throwing the microphone. It just goes on. Up in the world you fly like a tea tray in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little bat. I wanted to throw a mic at everybody in that audience.
Twinkle, twinkle.
All right, Dormouse, shut the hell up.
Ow! Stop pinching me.
You wish you don't have the money for it. Well, I'd hardly even finished the first verse. The Queen bawled out, "He's murdering the hungry bitch."
How dreadfully savage.
Well, that's it. It's always tea time to her, so we've no time to wash the things in between the whiles.
Is that the reason so many tea things are put out here?
Exactly so. As the things get used up.
Then keep moving around, I suppose, from one seat to the next.
Exactly. Just as things get used up.
But what happens when you come to the beginning again?
Oh, it takes some more tea.
I've had nothing yet, so I can't take more.
Yeah, Trust me, that's not tea. You mean that you can't take less, and it's very easy to take more than nothing.
Nobody asked your opinion, Hatter.
Oh, who's making the personal remarks now?
Oh, you. Bless your damn heart again.
I want a clean cup. Let's just move up one place.
But then you're the only one who gets a clean place, and I have to sit where the March Hare sat, and he's upset and milk jug onto his plate.
Listen to me and listen good. We move only one seat over.
Look, Blondie, if you don't like that,
You don't have to drink the tea you haven't yet had.
This piece of rudeness was more than Alice could bear. She got up in great disgust and walked off. The Dormouse fell asleep instantly, and neither of the others took the least notice of her going.
For they are now trying to shove the Dormouse into the teapot.
As Alice wandered on through the wood, she came suddenly upon a tree with a little door leading right into it. She was not in the least surprised, for she had come to expect anything in Wonderland. So she quickly opened the door and entered, to find herself at last among the bright flower beds and the cool fountains of a beautiful garden.
The one she had first seen through the little door in the hall.
She had scarcely time to look about her when she heard the sounds of a procession approaching. It was the royal entourage of the King and Queen of Hearts, accompanied by their guests, the kings and queens of diamonds, spades, and clubs, with their soldiers and courtiers. And when the procession came opposite to Alice, it stopped, and everybody looked at her as the Queen of Hearts spoke.
And who is this? How did she get in here? Speak, child. What's your name?
My name is Alice, so please your majesty.
Alice?
But they're only a pack of cards after all. I needn't be afraid of them.
She has no business being Alice. Off with her head. Off with her.
Nonsense.
Now consider, my dear, she's only a child.
But she has such a pretty little head, my king.
This is true, but my dear consort.
Mind your own. Like
Now
other
listen.
wives, I only let you think you have a say, my dear.
Now listen, you might pick out my pants, but I still put them on. Oh, okay, fine. Yes, you win, my dear.
As always, glad that's settled. On with the procession. For the present, child, you may keep your head. You're very welcome.
That's dreadfully kind of you.
The procession continued to the fountains in the center of the garden, while Alice looked about her, vainly for some way to escape. But the Queen kept constantly by her side.
Now, my dear, have you seen the mock turtle yet?
No, I don't even know what a mock turtle is.
Oh, why, it's the thing mock turtle soup is made from, of course.
I never saw one, or ate one, or heard of one.
Oh, well, come on then, and he shall tell you his sordid story.
After a little walk, the Queen and Alice came upon a griffin, lying fast asleep in the sun.
If you don't know what a griffin is, learn. Fine. Sort of a half lion, half eagle, half... you know what? Never mind.
Oh, up, you lazy thing, and take this young lady to see the mock turtle and to hear his story. I must go back and see after some executions I have ordered. La-di-da-di-da.
What fun!
What is the fun?
Why, it's all her fancy that. They never execute nobody, you know. Come on.
They had not gone far before they saw the Mock Turtle in the distance, sitting sad and lonely on a little ledge of rock. And as they came nearer, Alice could hear him sighing as if his heart would break. She pitied him deeply.
What is his sorrow?
It's all his fancy, ma'am, that. He hasn't got no sorrow, you know. This here young lady, she wants for you to know her history, she do.
I'll tell her. Now, you just want to sit down, both of you, and don't speak a word until I've finished.
I don't see how he can ever finish if he doesn't begin.
Well, once I was a real turtle. When we were little, we went to school in the sea, and the master was an old turtle, and we used to call him Tortoise.
Why did you call him Tortoise if he was a turtle?
Well, we called him Tortoise because he taught us. Really, you're pretty thick.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself for asking such a simple question. Turtle, drive on, old fella. Don't be all day about it.
Right, yes. So we went to school in the sea, and though you may not believe that.
I never said I didn't.
You did.
Hold your tongue, little girl.
Yeah. So we had the best of educations. In fact, we went to school every day.
I've been to day school, too. What did you study?
Reeling and writhing, of course, to begin with, and then the different branches of arithmetic and ambition and distraction and uglification and derision.
And what else had you to learn?
Well, there was mystery, ancient and modern, and seaography, and then drawing. And the drawing master was an old conger eel that used to come once a week, and he taught us drawing and stretching and feigning in coils.
What was that like?
Well, I can't show it to you myself. I'm too stiff, and the griffin here never learned it.
Hadn't time. I went to the classical master, though. He was an old crab, he was.
I never went to him. He taught laughing and grief, they used to say.
And so he did.
And how many hours a day did you do lessons?
Well, 10 hours the first day, 9 the next, and so on.
What a curious plan. Did the government organize this?
Silly child, that's the reason they're called lessons, 'cause they lesson from day to day.
Then the 11th day must have been a holiday.
Of course it was.
And how did you manage on the 12th?
Oh, that's enough about lessons. Tell her something about the games now.
Huh? What, must I really?
Indeed you must.
All right. You may not have lived much under the sea.
Oh, I haven't.
And perhaps you've never been introduced to a lobster.
I once tasted. No, never.
So you have no idea what a delightful thing a lobster quadrille is.
No, indeed. What sort of a dance is it?
Why, you first form into a long line along the seashore.
That's right. And then 2 lines, seals, turtles, salmon, and so on. And then when you cleared all the jellyfish out of the way.
And that generally takes some time.
And then you advance twice.
Each with a lobster as a partner.
Of course, advance twice, set to partners.
Change lobsters and retire in the same order.
Then, you throw.
The lobsters!
As far out to sea as you can.
Swim after them.
Turn a somersault in the sea.
Change lobsters again.
And then back to land again. And that's all there is to the first figure.
It must be a very pretty dance.
Yes. Would you like to see a little of it?
Oh, very much indeed.
Oh, come on. Let's try the first figure, Griffin. We can do it without the lobsters, you know. What shall we sing?
Well, you sing. I've forgotten the words.
So they began solemnly dancing around and round Alice, every now and then treading on her toes when they passed too close, and waving their forepaws to mark the time while the mock turtle sang.
Will you walk a little faster, said a whiting to a snail. There's a porpoise behind us, and he's treading on my tail. See how eagerly the lobsters and the turtles all advance? They're all waiting on a shingle. Will you come and join the dance? Will you? Won't you? Will you? Won't you? Will you join the dance? Will you? Won't you? Will you? Won't you? Will you join the dance?
Thank you. It's a very interesting dance to watch, and I do that curious song about the whiting. But if I'd been he, I'd have said to the porpoise, keep back, please. We don't want you with us.
Well, they were obliged to have him with them. No wise fish would go anywhere without a porpoise.
Really?
Of course not. Why, if a fish came to me and I told him he was going on a journey, I would say, with a porpoise?
Oh. Purpose?
I mean what I say.
Shall we try another figure of the lobster quadrille? Or would you like the mock turtle to sing you another song?
Oh, a song, please. If the mock turtle would be so kind.
Well, there's no accounting for tastes. Turtle, sing her a turtle soup, will you, old fella?
Beautiful soup, so rich and green, waiting in a hot terrain. Who for such dainties?
Come on, it's time to go to the trial.
What trial?
Come on.
And the Griffin grabbed Alice by the hand and hurried her off without waiting for the end of the mock turtle song. By the time Alice and the Griffin had arrived at the courtroom, a great crowd had assembled there, all sorts of little birds and beasts, as well as the whole pack of cards. The knave stood before the court in chains. The white rabbit, dressed in the livery of a herald, was near the throne where the king and queen of hearts were sitting.
The king was also the judge, by the way, and as he was wearing his crown over his wig, he does not look at all comfortable and sort of retarded in that getup.
In the very middle of the court on a table was a large dish of tarts, not unlike the ones you find behind the Circle K. It made Alice hungry to look at them.
I wish I'd get the trial done and hand round the refreshments.
No chance of that. Them tarts is what the trial's all about.
What are the judges writing on their slates for? They can't have anything to put down yet before the trial's begun.
They're writing down their names for fear they shall forget them before the end of the trial.
Thanks.
Stupid things.
Why, they're all writing stupid things on their slates, and look, several of them can't even spell it correctly.
Silence in the court.
Harold, and where are you? I can't see you. Read the accusation.
I'll read them after my music. That was majestic and triumphant. Thank you. The Queen of Hearts, she made some tarts, all on a summer day. The Knave of Hearts, he stole those tarts, and took them quite away. And took them quite away.
Yes, consider your verdict, jury.
No, not yet, Your Majesty. There's a great deal to come before that.
Oh, all right then. Call the first witness.
First witness, the Hatter, sometimes called Mad.
I beg your pardon, Your Majesty, for bringing my tea and bread and butter with me, but I haven't quite finished what I was sent for.
You ought to have finished. When did you begin?
14th of March, I think it was.
14th, 15th, whatever. 14th, 15th.
Oh. Jury, write that down.
The jury is writing down all 3 dates on their slates. Now, as they add them up, now they're reducing the answer to shillings and pence. Only all the answers are different, just like new math.
Just at this moment, Alice felt a very curious sensation, which she recognized at once. She was beginning to grow again. She decided, however, to remain in the courtroom as long as there was room for her. However, the dormouse, who was sitting next to her, objected at once.
I wish you wouldn't squeeze so. I can hardly breathe.
I can't help it. I'm growing.
You have no right to grow here.
Nonsense. You're growing too.
Yes, but I grow at a reasonable rate, not in the ridiculous fashion you do.
The Hatter is so nervous under the gaze of the Queen that he shakes himself right out of both of his shoes. And, in his confusion, he bites a large piece out of his teacup instead of his bread and butter.
Ow, damn it. Oh, this scary bitch. I'm a poor man, Your Majesty.
No, you're kind of a very poor speaker. So I may as well have you executed on the spot.
I'd rather finish my tea. Yes, it's tea in here. I swear.
Oh, yes. Your tea. Come from a Long Island, does it? And you know what? In that case, you may go.
Oh, yes, Your Majesty. Oh, I'm going.
And just take his head off outside. It's less messy there, anyhow.
Yes. His head. Call the next witness.
Alice. Yes, you.
Well, what do you know about this business, eh? Nothing? Whatever?
Whatever.
Oh, that's very important.
Unimportant, Your Majesty means, of course.
Unimportant. English is not my first language, I'm sorry. Of course, that's what I meant. Important, unimportant.
Some of the jury writes important, some unimportant, some impotent.
Silence! I read from the rule book. Rule 42, because everything is Rule 42. All persons more than a mile high leave the court.
Mile high?
Oh, yes, you are. You live near Colorado. We know it.
Nearly 2 miles high.
See?
Well, I can't go. At any rate, besides, that's not a regular rule. You invented it just now.
It's damn it, it's the oldest rule in the book.
Then it ought to be number 1.
Consider your verdict.
No, Your Majesty. There's more evidence to come yet, please, Your Majesty.
Oh?
Yes, this paper, which has just been picked up.
Oh, What's in it? I do love a good gossip rag.
Well, I haven't opened it yet, but it seems to be a letter written by the prisoner to somebody?
Well, it must have... No. It must have been that. Maybe. Unless it was written to nobody, which, let's face it, isn't all unusual, you know.
Well, who's it directed to?
Well, it isn't directed at all. In fact, there's nothing written on the outside. It isn't a letter after all. It's a set of verses.
Oh, are they in the prisoner's handwriting?
No, they are not.
Oh, he must have imitated somebody else's hand. I think that's called a stranger.
Well, then that proves his guilt. Off with his head.
Yes.
It doesn't prove anything of the sort. Why, you don't even know what the verses are about.
Oh. Rabbit? Read them, please.
Where shall I begin, please, Your Majesty?
Begin. Anywhere. And stop. When you like.
They told me you had been to her, and mentioned me to him. They gave me a good character, but said I could not swim. He sent them word I had not gone. We know it to be true. If she should push the matter on, what would become of you? I gave her 1, she gave them 2. You gave us 3 or more. They all returned from him to you, though they were mine before. If I or she should chance to be involved in this affair, he trusts to you to set them free, exactly as we were. My notion was that you had been, before she had this fit, an obstacle that came between him and ourselves and it. Don't let him know she liked them best, for this must ever be a secret kept from all the rest, between yourself and me.
Oh, that's the most important piece of evidence we've heard yet. And as you know, it's good to be the king. It's good to be the king. So now, let the jury consider.
I don't believe there's an atom of meaning to it.
Oh? If there's no meaning in it, dear Alice, that saves a world of trouble, you know, as we needn't try to find any. And yet, I don't know. I seem to find some meaning here. Said I could not swim. You can't swim? Really? Seriously? At your age, you cannot swim yet? Can you, Knave? Seriously?
King, that's a little racist. Do I look like I can swim?
Motherfucker, I'm the king. You can't say nothing about me being racist ever again, or off with your head. Oh, okay, well, I'm sorry.
He certainly doesn't look like he can swim, being made entirely of cardboard.
Well, all right. So far, now continue. Let me read some more here. Know it to be true to himself that the jury, of course, reads if she should push the matter on. Oh, that must be the queen. What would become of you? Yes, what indeed? Let's read this part here. I gave her 1, they gave him 2. Why, that must be what he did with the tarts, you know.
But it goes on. They all return from him to you.
Well, there you are.
And so they are. The tarts on the table, just like behind the Circle K.
Giggity. Nothing can be clearer than that, eh? No, then again, before she had this fit to the queen. You've never had fit, have you, my dear consort? No, of course, not possibly.
Me? Why, never. Off with anybody's head.
Then the words don't fit you. And if the words don't fit, you cannot acquit. Please, thank you. Thank you. I'll be here all week. Don't forget to try the pork chop. Well, let the jury consider their verdict.
No, sentence first, verdict afterwards.
Stuff and nonsense. The idea of having the sentence first.
Hold your tongue. Yeah, really, hold it. It makes you talk really funny.
I will not.
Well then, off with her head.
But nobody moves, for Alice, who is now her full size and much too large for them to try to do anything about it, stands up, dumping the jury box and its occupants onto the courtroom floor.
Who cares for you? You're nothing but a pack of cards.
And at this, the whole pack rose up into the air and came flying down upon her.
Oh!
She gave little screams, half of fright, half of anger, half in delight, and tried to beat them off, because that's what she said.
Diggity.
Then she found herself lying on the bank, with her head in the lap of her sister, who was gently brushing away some dead leaves that had fluttered down from the trees upon her face.
Wake up, Alice dear. Why, what a long sleep you've had. Have you gotten into Daddy's gummies again?
Oh, sis, I've had such a curious dream all about not racist, but it was a white rabbit and a mock turtle and a mad-ass hatter and the Queen of Hearts and a whole pack of cards.
And so ends the KLRN radio dramatization of Alice in Wonderland. Thank you greatly for joining us in this fun event for a Friday night. And just again, hopefully come Halloween for our next play.